What is up, everybody? My name is Braden Carlson. This is the Anti-Gravity Group podcast, and I said the intro wrong. Go ahead, Taylor.
My name is Taylor. What? I don't even know. It's it's all wrong. I don't know.
It's the bonus episode is completely off the rails.
Oh man,
it is tough.
And my name is Bryce Chanes, and I'm the only professional rocket scientist here.
Take it away, Postart. We got to finish it. We got to get through the intro with some grace.
My name is Shane, or as you might know me, Postart.
my name is Matthew, or Macho Matt.
Wow, that was tough, but we made it, ladies and gentlemen. This is the second AGG Extra, I think is what I called it for the last one. It's a live bonus episode, so thank you to all the people who are tuning in live. We are live. I only said that like 10 times before we started recording.
Well,
Taylor.
I don't see it.
Oh, it's up.
It's up.
Actually, Postart, you want to throw it in the Discord?
I'm
Have
working
faith,
on
Taylor.
it.
Oh,
Okay,
man.
I'll
Anyway,
take your word for it.
welcome, everybody, to the second live recording. And I wish I could
there
say,
it
like,
is.
welcome to a behind the scenes of what it's like when we record one of these podcasts. But I have to say, this is like, we actually have gotten pretty fluent at it. Just the live element somehow threw such a wrench at it that we fell apart at the helm. But anyway, we're playing a game of Would You Rather in the Rocketry world. And we've got a live chat. We will be addressing you guys here in a bit, but we're going to go through some of the stuff that we've got. First, we've got Patreon Would You Rathers, and I think it's best to just jump into it. I think we'll each do one, and we'll kind of do a little bit of roundtable discussion on what we would prefer to do. So I'm just going to start it with the one that I pitched that sort of founded this whole idea. So, would you rather... Anti-Gravity Group and Bryce Chanes deploy a main at 40,000 feet or recover a 150-pound rocket from the center of a dirt field and walk the whole thing back to the flight line?
I have the same question.
That's because I
Bingo.
asked it last week on the live. You stole it from me.
I don't remember that, but we were thinking the same thing apparently. Well,
All right,
mine's
well,
a little bit
as the-
different. Mine is the deploying the C9 at 15K.
Oh, that's tough too. But we'll answer my question first, all right?
Okay.
How far is
How
the
big is
dirt
this
field
dirt
from the
field?
flight lane? Yeah.
Well, I specifically put Argonia, but I had to reword it a little bit because, Bryce, you've never been there, and neither have a lot of people. But, I mean, it's like a good from the flight line.
Say
My
the
head
middle-
went straight to the field that we
Say-
picked the Punisher up front, which is like a mile and a quarter, probably.
You can't drive out there.
Yeah.
Correct.
No. A middle
I'm deploying
middle
my
of
main
like
at
a
Apogee.
mile and a half square plowed field.
How does deploying my main at Apogee prevent the second from happening anyway?
Well, that's the thing, is you can kind of lean into 40,000-foot flights, probably not a 150-pound rocket, right?
I guess some people don't do
Yes.
that. Okay, cool.
Let's see. If I know we were doing your question, but mine is similar. It says, would you rather deploy
No,
the main
take
at
it away.
Apogee with a 12-inch Punisher from 15K or main at Apogee with the 40,000-foot minimum diameter rocket, assuming equal recovery area?
Oh, the minimum diameter one, obviously.
Yeah.
Yep.
Either
Yeah,
way, I'm taking main at Apogee for
Yeah.
the 40,000-foot flight.
Matt, what do you
It's
got
still
on
going to
that
suck, but
Wait, repeat it again.
one? Would you rather deploy a main at 40,000 feet or recover a 150-pound rocket from the center of a dirt field and you have to walk the whole thing back to the flight line?
I'll go the other way. I'm going to do the 150-pound rocket, and I'm going to see it as a workout opportunity.
Dude, I honestly, I
Well-
was going to say Matt would probably be like, if we had really been like, Matt, go get the Punisher, he probably would have been like, okay, and like really just made it happen.
yeah, he would be like, it was a fun challenge.
It was a workout
Dude,
opportunity.
I could not
had
even
tried.
deflate the parachute myself.
Oh yeah, that's yeah.
Dude, it's kind of good though, right? You get squats, you get like a little
Yeah.
bit of deadlifting, you get everything in
Sure.
there.
I feel like you
All
want
right,
to die
well-
probably.
I'm gonna kick it over to our guest, Bryce. What do you got for a would you rather scenario?
Oh man, so I'm gonna come up with one here. Would you rather fly commercial motors forever or experimental motors forever?
Does the question imply that I'm decent at making experimental motors?
Same failure rate. Same
They
failure
just
rate.
suck. They just go absolutely
If it's the same failure rate, I'd probably take EX because I like the
Yeah.
concept of being able to just kind of make whatever I want.
Yeah. I think
Matt,
I
what
would
did you
do
take?
that too.
What would I say? I mean, okay, so I guess I'd be weighing the time for creating the EX motors versus the
Okay.
commercial.
It would also
I
mean
think-
you can't fly rockets at a NAR launch anymore,
Wow.
Well, that doesn't affect me too much.
or in California outside of FAR.
Oh, that's a good
Oh.
point. But Tripoli Vegas is close enough to me that I'm like,
Yeah.
we'll make it work.
I mean, I think it sounds pretty cool to be doing the EX motors. Why not? I mean, you get to control the variables.
Yeah, I
And
agree. I would be pretty tempted by the commercial side though, for me, because I don't have access to an experimental field very often. Our launch club here in Central Washington has one day a year that they allow EX, so it's like
Really?
Black Rock or
Whoa.
nothing for
Right.
most things, or a trip down to Brothers or Tripoli, Idaho, but they're far and it would be rare.
And the recovery areas are not fun.
True.
It would put me into an interesting situation, though, of like, you know, we're in this imaginary scenario, assuming other people are still flying commercial motors. It might force me to go on down some rabbit hole of like replicating a couple of few of my favorite commercial motors that are unique motors, you know.
But you could make them better, in theory.
Yeah, I'm not saying it's a bad thing. It's just it's fun to think about, you know, what that would do if for some reason in an imaginary world where I was, you know, saying I will only do this.
Dude, I have to say, honestly,
it's illegal for me to fly commercial motors.
that kind of would just lead me to the path that I like pretty much want to go down for EX stuff anyway, where just every big rocket is on an M2200 clone. That's all 15-year-old me wants.
That doesn't sound like a bad thing at all.
All right. Who wants to go next?
I have a very similar one
Okay.
that I think evens out the sides a little more. So would you rather be able to only fly EX or commercial, but with commercial, you have access to every commercial motor that's ever been made?
Oh, dang. Okay, so out of production stuff's on the table.
Yeah. Yeah.
And budget's not an issue here,
I was going
right?
to say, can I buy
Nope.
it at the out of production price?
Yeah.
Budget is no issue.
2007 prices.
Yeah, when I started listing AMW motors for what the last like retail price was, people were like, "What? $75 K motors?" I'm like, "Yeah, I know, it's crazy."
I see Postart to me, like if the out of production stuff isn't super interesting to me because I could just make an EX version of it, you know, without.
And because you have an 025,000, you're like, "Oh, well, the one that I would want, I've got."
Because I'm allowed, because no, I mean, it's a commercial motor. I'm allowed to buy commercial motors as part of the first part of the would you rather. So,
No, that's what I mean though. Is
Yeah.
you're like the out of production ones don't matter because like I have the ones you would want.
okay, I guess you're right because it's out of production. Sure. I would like to make a cooler 25,000 someday. That'd be fun.
You know what?
I'm here for it.
We can fly the Punisher on EX motors if Bryce makes us a in 4800 clone.
Oh my god.
I have a case. I have one.
Oh, he does. Yeah, that's right.
Oh yeah.
I had somebody make me one. So I have the capability.
Taylor's regretting saying that right now.
No,
It's such a
I,
gnarly motor.
I would.
Is
it would
is
be
it
worth
Finistil all the way through?
I don't
No,
think it's
just the
all the
bottom.
way through, just the aft.
Yeah, okay. I think Bryce could pull it off. He does it for a living. Matt, Taylor kind of already threw one into the ring, so you're up, my friend.
All right. Would you rather, and mine are not going to be all that exciting, but would you rather have a quick link become separated mid-flight or an altimeter prematurely go off when you're loading a rocket on the pad.
This is Matt's life.
That's so funny because he literally asked earlier for help with would you rather. So I was like, just think of the worst things you've experienced in rockets and throw those at the wall and see what
I mean,
sticks.
it's not a bad question, really.
Really, dude, I think I'm taking the quick link because
No.
Yeah.
No.
I'm
No.
taking the altimeter.
Yeah.
Well,
You lose the rocket.
depends on the size of the rocket.
Exactly.
You lose that quick link, you're dropping something, hopefully not over people, but like you're gonna lose the rocket
Yeah.
regardless. It
Yeah.
sounds,
That's a good point.
I don't know exactly when this altimeter function failure happens. Do you, like on the pad while you're loading?
It
or?
happens on the pad when you're loading.
Yeah, I mean
Yeah.
it sucks, but I that's why I wear safety glasses and I wear hearing protection when possible out of the pad. Like, be prepared.
all right,
It
you've
happens.
swayed me. Yeah, because
Yeah,
then
I
you can like
guess-
it's embarrassing and it sucks, but you can still like salvage the flight.
Yeah,
Yeah.
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 That's a good point. That is a good point. All right, so we're gonna get into my next one. This one's a little bit chaotic. All right, would you rather fly a 7-motor cluster of J615s with the aerospike nozzle, or a 7-motor cluster of CTI K300s?
Aerotech, Jays.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah, we'll just pencil in half a day for the hours in those.
Just assign it to me. I'll have a bunch of fun doing it. That's no problem.
Yeah, so for those that aren't aware, the J615, the aerospike nozzle, you have to take the rear closure and the nozzle off and out of the motor at the pad to adhere to the rules that say you can't put the igniter in before you're at the pad. So it would be a
and
very
then do
time-consuming
some needle
process.
threading.
Yeah. It wasn't too bad. You've never flown one, Taylor. It's easy.
No,
once
but I
you get
watch
it
you
in.
guys.
Yeah,
I watch you guys do it.
Well, you just put it in the core first and then run
After the
nozzle
first and
over.
second one, surely the third through seventh won't be so bad.
Yeah, you'll get fishing at it. Yeah, because I mean, I'm at 50% Kato rate with the K300s, so with 7 of them, you're really laying it out on the line. All right, Bryce.
So would you rather never Kato a motor ever again forever, or never shred a rocket ever forever?
Oh,
Never Kato.
I
Never
think I think
shred.
I'm Kato too. Never shred though actually is a cool concept because you could just like if it's like operating as like some sort of a superpower.
Yeah.
I'm doing like a
I didn't think
cardboard
about it like
rocket
that.
with a 16th
Yeah.
balsa that weighs
Yeah.
half a pound on an end motor.
That's it.
That
man.
would be cool.
Yeah, Mozzie.
I wasn't thinking about it like a superpower.
I love that Matt goes straight to the Mozzie. I'm with you though. Dude, mosquitoes would become bulletproof.
That's it.
Especially if
Yeah.
they
I
just
bet
like
you'd be
you
able to
know the
find the
fins would
thing
just
again.
resonate like crazy without coming off.
Dude,
So
that'd be
you
cool.
just-
It'd make a cool sound. Maybe.
Dude, for
yeah.
sure I'm building
Okay.
a tumble recovery 4-inch mosquito.
What if you could guarantee like only 1 in 10 of all of your rockets Katoed, or 1 in 10 of your rockets shred? Would that change? Like if you just
feel
knew that 1 in 10 of your next 10 flights would instantly shred or instantly Kato.
So I have a little bit of a unique case here, but for the sake of videos, I'm taking the Kato opportunities. I'm never gonna cause one on purpose, but like if I ever get a good one, I'm gonna have a.
I feel like I would. Wouldn't you see it coming? I don't know, or is it just like a? Is
Nope.
that like an evil power against you?
Yeah, it's
Dude,
just a
you could-
curse. It's a curse.
It could be a G-force on an F motor, just boom. Right?
Yeah.
I feel like I'd rather take the shred.
Yeah, I think I'm going
I
shred.
think
too.
more
like a good
rockets
shred. I think-
survive a Kato. I feel like I would be pretty happy with a 1 in 10 Kato rate.
That's true because
Like,
a lot of it could just be the nozzle.
Yeah, yeah.
True.
Yeah.
Whereas like a shred, I feel like
I-
I've never walked away from a shred thinking, wow, the rocket's in great shape.
Yeah, you don't see that often.
Whereas like in
I
a
will
Kato, I
say-
feel like sometimes that happens.
I will say the one thing that I don't like about the ease of access to modern rocket materials and cheap composites and stuff is like there used to be some gnarly shreds that were entertaining for me. So I would take
shout
one
out
for
our
the
friends at
team
Log Precision.
to provide some of those good old school style shreds. Because
Eric
feel like-
Beavers in the chat says the good Kato gets the YouTube clicks though. Yeah, see that's what my argument
that's
is.
a
The
great-
one
I
in
have
10,
a
I've got like a really good viral clip probably.
I have a similar question actually on my list. So, would you rather have one big, devastating, like you're crying failure every 20 flights, or have minor problem? This is not a sentence. Or have minor problems that require some sort of repair every flight.
Oh.
Minor,
So like
see
minor
that a little
problems.
bit.
zippers,
A lot
but it's
of
just
it.
like you can't ever fly a rocket. It just becomes like something that follows you around and is super annoying. Like every
I
time
see
you
what you're
fly, it's
saying.
like, oh, the rail guide got ripped off. Oh, you have a zipper. This shock
Dude,
will
I
need
have
to be
a lot of-
replaced. Something like that.
A lot of
Kinda like-
damaged rockets that aren't
Yeah,
fixed. And
yeah.
I feel like that's just what would happen.
Yeah,
Everything
I'll take
goes to
it.
the back burner.
I'll take
going-
one big one.
Yeah, I'm taking one big one too. I just if it's gonna fail, I just want to that's it. Just screw it.
No, man, especially flying big rockets now, like it's inevitable that little things will happen all the time. And having a big failure like Sasquatch last month, like is pretty it sucks a lot. I would have rather had like a slightly torn chute or rip the rail buttons off or a small zipper or something like over losing an entire big project. If I were flying a lot of Estes stuff, maybe the little things
Yeah.
would get annoying, but like on the big stuff, annoying is like the whole point of having the rocket that big. Like you don't have a 300-pound rocket that isn't annoying, I guess.
Yeah, the big rocket
That's
game
fair.
really changes my opinion on that entire question. Otherwise, I would definitely choose the other one. But like, it becomes so devastating that
I was
it
gonna
really
say the
hurts.
Punisher we've gotten pretty lucky with, but we did demolish my brand new Cert 3 large, so I guess that's a good point.
That's
We
exactly
shredded the
the
nose
kind
cone
of
on the
little
Arcus.
problems. Yeah.
Yeah, well, that's a good point. And we're going to kick it to Postart, but I do want to remind everybody who's watching live, we're going to turn to you guys for Would You Rather scenarios here towards the end. So go ahead and fire them off in the comments, and we'll backtrack a little bit, see what you guys got going on. Postart, you're up.
Would you rather only be able to fly at Gene in the summer, like dead middle of summer, or Bong in the dead middle of winter?
Oh,
Dude, I'm taking Gene because
Gene.
I can drive in the
Gene.
AC. Yeah.
Okay,
Gene.
let's make it so you can't
and it's
drive.
sick comparatively, and I've been there in the summer before, so.
I lived in Tucson for like most of the last decade, and heat's not a problem. You could live in heat, but like having a crappy launch site, no offense, like Bong. Yeah, there was almost no way to not make that offensive in any way. To have a unique and complex launch site like Bong to fly at.
No
Doesn't
offense,
matter.
but it totally blows.
It could be a beautiful, perfect day at Bong, and I'm pretty sure I would take freezing or boiling
Although-
at Gene any day.
It might be better if it was frozen at Bong because like the water would be frozen and the swamps and everything, and no leaves on the trees.
Dude, yeah, I mean, we had 4 like really beautiful days at Bong and LDRS, and every single day I was like, man, why do people fly rockets here all the time? This is crazy. We had Kip on recently who he started at Bong, and I was like, how did you wind up a high altitude guy of all the things in the world?
He was repressed. You just pushed
Bryce
it
has
down
a
so long
gnarly
that-
recovery story from Bong.
Dude, it was that when you asked the first would you rather about picking up a 150-pound rocket in the middle of a dirt field, my first thought was like, how about like a 250-pound rocket in the middle of a cornfield? Like that was
fair.
Absolutely some of the most physical rocket recovery experience I've ever had, and I don't want to re-experience that ever. And so deploying my main at Apogee was like the easy choice.
That's like one of my favorite Bryce moments ever. Was you walked into the banquet like 5 minutes late.
Yeah.
Woody Hoberg's on the live stream. You're covered in sweat and like green from walking through plants. I was like, "Where's the rocket at?" And you said, "I don't know." I was like, "It is a 24-inch rocket."
It like didn't even go like it was like 3,000 or 4,000 feet, and like I can't believe it. Like this is a rocket that like is so impossibly big to imagine standing next to, and to be like, I spent like 6 hours today with like other people looking for it and never ever found it. Was like not a scenario. My brain was not even ready to understand losing a rock. Like I left heading home to the banquet thinking like, shoot, I might not take this rocket home. Like it might be
right.
Like it might be something somebody finds at like the October launch at Bong. Like
could you imagine somebody just walking like, what the hell?
Or the corn combine or whatever they call it, to like come through the corn and they come up across this tiny little rocket. Like what the heck?
Just obliterates it. Yeah, dude. You also, not to beat a dead horse or bring up memories of your past, but you lost a 7.5-inch rocket at Lucerne, which is like the defining point in my rocketry career, so to speak, where I was like, I am putting a tracker in every single thing that I fly.
Yep.
And then I flew my 7.5-inch Honest John at Tripoli, Idaho. It went like 10,000 feet, and I had forgotten to put the tracker in there. And I was like, it's a 10-foot, 7.5-inch rocket. I'm not going to lose it. And I almost did. So
yeah,
I was like, how is that possible? I learned real quick how that's possible.
Yep, indeed. And we saw it. Like we watched the parachute deploy on that rocket, and we my buddy was like, hey, jump on my ATV. We'll go pick it up. And like, cause it was for my level 3, like this was a pretty important flight of mine. And so we jump on his ATV and we're like following the thing. We could see it up in the sky and we're like following it. We're like hauling ass on this ATV. Like we're going and going and going and going, and then finally it just starts to drift like far enough away that we start losing sight of it, and we lose sight of it, and then it's gone, and we stop. We're like, where is this thing? It was still in the air.
That's so crazy.
Oh my god, that was yep.
Anyway, back to the topic at hand. Matt, you're up.
I've got one that's not super great. Maybe I'll come back to that one. Okay, would you rather have a rocket themed to a Monster energy drink can or a rocket themed to a Red Bull energy drink can?
A Red Bull rocket would go so hard. That looks so good. Such a good scheme.
It used to look good.
I had one.
Oh, did they change like their branding and stuff? Oh,
no, Taylor had a Red Bull rocket, and
I had a Red Bull
came
mini
in ballistic.
mag.
No, I'm like thinking like the giant ones they put on top of the Mini Coopers. You know what I'm talking about? Like that size can.
That would be cool.
Like just grab one of those and just take the pop top off and put in a motor mount and go send it and like ship it, like bring it to a rocket like launch on a Mini
If I could
Cooper.
get one of those, it'd be awesome.
Oh my god.
Yeah.
Dude, I've seen those for sale every once in a while. They have the can still, they're just not branded anymore, but they do sell the minis with those on them.
How much does that like fetch good money, or are they like giving them away?
$6,000,
Dude,
it's not like crazy.
I'd consider that. That's group project for anybody listening who finds one of those. We'll do a branded rocket project.
That'd be fun.
Side note on the tiny car stuff. Do you still have the Insight?
Yeah, I do.
Okay.
Would you
like I said before, if you ever want to sell it, I'll buy it.
Excellent. Yeah. Okay, cool.
I love that thing, but this
awesome.
isn't the car podcast. I have one of those coming up, but we'll work on that later. No. Mine is my next would you rather is, would you rather only be able to fly blackjack or fast jack motors forever, or only fly motors that have a 50-50 chance of a Kato.
I'm flying blackjack motors, man. I would find some cool stuff to do with that. I want to do some canted motor mounts, like twin motor mounts that like spiral the thing up. I think you'd have fun. I don't know. I don't like a 50% failure rate. I'm not sure I like a 10% failure rate.
Motors.
I mean, yeah, I could do fast jacks.
Yeah,
I guess making it 50% almost made that too easy.
Yeah,
we just kind of notoriously
tough.
aren't big blackjack or fast jack fans around
Yeah,
here.
if it were like even
I rolled a little
20%,
deep.
I think it would change it.
All
but
right,
yeah,
well, Bryce, toss us another one.
Okay, so free all expense paid trip to Balls, or free all expense paid trip to LDRS.
Balls.
If
the expenses are covered, I'm getting the bougiest RV I can find to rent.
Yeah, they're
I'm
still from
glamping
Empire,
out there.
and they were just used by Burning Man the week before. But sure, yeah, bougie is not a word that they know what that means. Like within a few hours of BlackRock.
I'll get an East Coast one and drive it all the way out
There
if they're
you
paying
go.
for it.
There you go. All right, so everyone's going BlackRock. Well, come on out to BlackRock, man.
Yeah.
Dude, for real.
Let's do it.
I think I'm the only other person who's been, and I've only been once.
Oh my gosh. I've been going almost every year for a decade now, and it is such a special place. Such a cool
Dude, I
experience.
immediately got it. Yeah. It's so good. But yeah, Taylor's coming, Postart's coming. Matt, balls?
When is this? Is next year?
No, it's at the end of September, right?
20th or 22nd?
We'll see,
Yes,
we'll see.
20th
Call
or
it my birthday
22nd.
trip. Justify
Oh,
it.
okay. All right.
It's good. It's a good time.
Yeah, that's
Week
awesome.
before is
That's not like
Express.
fun.
Oh yeah. Postart hit it.
Would you rather only be able to fly minimum diameter rockets or only be able to fly handicap eligible rockets?
Ooh.
minimum diameter.
I think, yeah, because it doesn't specify that you have to fly them on like a full motor every time, right?
I suppose not, no.
I don't know. I almost think I'd rather that big giant rockets are fun though, right? So
Yeah.
But if it's
That's a
true
tough one.
handicap rules, it's kind of really pigeonholing you.
Well, the pigeonholes are just, I mean, the handicap rules are just minimums. You can fly bigger
Well,
things.
right? Yeah.
yeah, you can make a mean machine, an 8-inch mean machine, all fiberglass.
Because there's
weighs like
not,
200 pounds.
you know, like any rocket you have probably meets the handicap rules just for much smaller motors. Unless they're short, fat rockets like
True.
that one or that one. But not the carbon fiber one, which holds the I altitude handicap record.
Hey,
There we go. Maybe the
brief
H.
intermission here, but Bryce, do you mind if we post this in the r/Rocketry Discord?
I don't
Could
mind.
have Postart throw. You're the moderator.
I don't
A
mind.
moderator.
I don't mind.
Postart, you want to hit that?
I will try.
I did a
All
little
right.
Facebook plug. Don't know if I doubt anybody would see it, but hey, there you go.
I probably should have as well, but you know, we do what we can around here. Taylor, I believe it is your turn at the plate. I've been using that expression a bunch tonight. I don't know why.
Baseball?
Yeah.
Would you rather be restricted to only off-the-shelf composite components or only unreinforced cardboard and plywood components, which would allow you to scratch build?
Why can't I
Well,
scratch
I
build
guess-
with commercial?
I guess you
Composite
can. You
propellants?
can, but you can scratch build with the composite stuff, just not.
Yeah,
I guess the other
be stuck building
option would allow you
fiberglass
to use, like,
rockets forever
sonotube
or
and stuff.
carbon rockets forever.
Yes.
Well, it sounds like there's a carve out if you select cardboard that you can roll your own fiberglass tubes.
No.
Hold on, I
So
didn't
basically,
hear it. Can
the
you
cardboard would be
repeat it?
unreinforced, so no composites at all. But you could
probably
roll
gonna
your own
take
tubes,
fiberglass.
or okay.
Dude, fiberglass nation, man.
Yeah.
Wait, can you repeat it? I didn't hear it.
Would you rather be restricted to only off-the-shelf composite components or only unreinforced cardboard and plywood?
I'm going composite stuff.
I have to say that one feels pretty obvious. I
going
think Taylor,
cardboard,
you're
that's
the
all I
only
have.
one that's like, but it's heavy.
Well,
Yeah, but it lasts
yeah.
forever, and I can keep a rocket around for a decade.
I guess I was thinking like if your only choice is off the shelf, it's like your only it's going to be expensive comparatively. But I would probably
I
still
guess
choose
so,
it. So
yeah.
like I didn't know if other people would
Cardboard's
have a
getting
different
expensive
take on
too.
That is a good point. All right,
that. I was
Matt.
just thinking you could do like
Okay.
sonotube and stuff.
I'm gonna throw my burner out there. This is a silly one. Would you rather have a K185 chuff for like 30 seconds or so, or have to load a J615 arrow spike nozzle?
Oh,
I
chuff
love
a
that we both had
K185
the
for sure.
J615.
Yeah.
Yeah, Chuff,
Taking the J615.
Chuff the magic
Dude,
dragon.
I love a chuff.
I'm taking the J615, I think, for the same reason as Postart, who almost watched a K1275 chuff his rocket all the way off the rail.
Yeah. Yeah.
Oh no!
For the sake of that being a possibility, I'm taking the J615 all day.
Dude, what a
Yep.
skill though to have a chuff that launches the rocket
know
off the
what?
rail.
Here's the
It
thing.
was so
that
close.
motor was older than me.
Yeah, it was from
Wow.
2001.
Oh dang.
Yeah, I just flew a 1999 M2500.
Dude, I've got a 1999 M1315.
Oh man, they were twins back in the day.
Should drag raced. Actually, mine probably came from the same source as yours because it was from
chuffing drag race.
it was from the Predo estate, but the box said D Gates on the side.
Oh, and then it's probably mine, right? I'm just kidding. You could return it to me at Balls. Thanks for mentioning that.
I think it was from the era where Chuck and John Predo owned Rocket Silo
Oh, okay.
with Eric and Dirk.
Okay. Nice.
Okay, whose turn is it? Is it? Well, I guess it's mine.
Yeah.
All right. Speaking of old motors, would you rather see the return of the AMW N2801 skid mark or an Aerotech N4800 Blue Thunder?
The skid mark. Man, the skid mark is
Yeah.
so awesome. Even if so, the N4800. Can you remind me? Did it come with its own case? Was it like LMS style, or what was the hardware?
Yeah, it came
situation?
preloaded.
Yeah.
Okay. Weird. So it would still
Yeah.
do that. Could you imagine how expensive the N4800 would be today?
Dude, no. It'd be like $8,000.
I couldn't afford an N4800 if they made them today. But I'll make one.
Yeah, because what is
I don't
an
know that-
N4000? Will they? I've heard so many mixed stories about whether or not Aerotech would actually do it if you could fund it.
I don't know.
Nigel the Rocket Cat stickers at rocketvlogs.square.site, ladies and gentlemen. Let's get a run of N4800s made. We're close enough to Cedar City. We'll go pick them up. All we need to sell is like 8,000 of them. Maybe.
And that gets the production for one of them.
Right.
So you need to start up in
Oh,
it.
there he is.
Hey, there's the man.
Look at that. Nigel.
All right. Bryce, I believe you're up.
Okay, so I asked ChatGPT to generate some would you rather questions for us.
Okay.
And they're pretty awesome. I'm pretty happy with them. So would you rather retrieve a rocket that lands in a tree or one that's landed in a lake?
That is actually a great
They're a
one.
lot drier
Yeah.
typically.
I also added
Yeah.
or a
Fan of that.
cornfield, but that's mostly for me.
Yeah, you had a bad experience. I think I'm going tree, honestly.
Yeah.
It sounds like it would take a lot longer to get out of a tree, but like at least the rocket's dry.
Yeah. A lot less water.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Sinks.
Yeah.
All right, Postart.
Would you rather get your dream workshop and all of the tools in it covered, or get every rocket component, motor, electronics for free forever?
Number
I'm
two.
taking the components. Yeah, absolutely. We've managed to shove so much stuff in the spare bedroom, and I'll keep doing it if it's free. I'll start parking outside, dude. The garage has become a rocket zone.
Yeah. Components, man. Do so much with that
Yeah.
superpower.
Yeah.
All right, Taylor.
I'm kind of out.
Okay.
I guess the
Well, I only
the
have-
last one I have is just super simplistic. Just would you rather have a Kato or ballistic recovery?
Kato.
Kato.
Absolutely.
Yeah, Kato.
Chance of electronics surviving and all the expensive stuff coming back is way
Or
higher.
anything surviving.
Yeah, yeah. Matt, you got anything?
You mean question or you mean response?
Yeah. Oh, would you rather?
Yeah, I've got two more.
Okay.
Okay, would you rather get a coupler stuck in a rocket you're building or get a dirty motor stuck in the motor mount? Oh wait, no, I meant having to clean a case. You know, getting.
Like the liner stuck in the hardware?
Well, actually, no. We'll say motor out of the motor mount. So thinking of the snooky pootsie.
Yeah, I was going to say, if I do that, I'll just give it to Taylor and have him pull it out with a come along.
The coupler thing, I'm thinking of when we were putting the 12-inch Punisher together. Sometimes getting the coupler stuck in there was a pain in the ass. A pain in the A.
I think I'm taking the motor case, honestly.
No. As the person,
I
well,
think-
if it was that motor case, then no.
I think I'm taking the coupler.
I don't know if, Bryce, do you know the lore?
No, I don't know the lore. Go ahead.
I friction fit John Clifton's 6th grade 98mm case in my V2, and I did such a good job that I had to give the rocket to Taylor, who then needed a come along and 2 trees to get it out of the rocket.
It took like 2 hours with a 2,000-pound come along.
Wow.
The coupler one that always cracks me up, though, when we're test fitting things and then all of a sudden the coupler gets stuck and we're like, oh,
Yeah, and
no.
it turns into 45 minutes of being super pissed.
super pissed.
All right, this is my last one before we turn to Patreon. Matt has one more. Bryce, do you have
I've got
one more?
one.
I've got would you rather's for
It's got
days.
ChatGPT.
For days.
Postart, how many do you got left?
I've got one more.
Okay, so we'll do one more of each of ours except Taylor, I guess, and then we'll throw some Patreon ones out. And Bryce, you can just keep letting us have it. Would you rather only fly 1.5-inch diameter rockets for the rest of your life, or only fly 12-inch diameter rockets for the rest of your life?
12-inch rockets.
12.
Going to space,
Yeah.
baby.
12. Yeah.
Oh man, that's a good point. That's a good point.
Yeah.
The 12-inch motors. All right, Bryce, what do you got?
Okay, so this is kind of like a personal question here. Would you rather fly with a lot of people at like a huge national launch, or would you rather fly at like a small intimate launch with just a couple friends?
I like the
going
small
big.
launches. This is always my argument for when we fly. Like when we fly the Punisher or the Arcus, Taylor's like, we got to do it Saturday because that's when all the people are going to be here. And I'm like, that's just more people to hit if something goes wrong.
I just think about when I was the person going to the launches as an impressionable teenager. I wanted
That's
to
fair.
see the rocket.
Yeah.
Plus,
I,
you
And
get
a
to
lot
see
of
a lot
I missed a
more
lot of good
stuff.
projects because
Yeah.
they were back then. They had research days and stuff, and so it's like, oh, I didn't make it on Friday.
oh, that's a good point. I might have been swayed just now.
Wait, so
Going
Taylor,
big.
what is your response? Bigger.
Big
Well,
launches.
Yeah, you said big launch.
Oh, yeah.
You
I
prefer
like
big-
flying it.
yeah.
I mean, it depends. If we're talking about huge projects, then not. I don't particularly love flying them at the biggest of launches, but also like if I had to choose between that and like a dozen people, I think for my own enjoyment, I enjoy being around all the, in the environment of a big launch with all the people and having
Yeah.
fun with my
That's
friends.
true.
And
The
stuff.
atmosphere is awesome. It's
Yeah.
really funny that you're like, not
Now,
like
if
the
it-
biggest launch, just Saturday at Airfest.
If it's a really serious, like if it's a launch that's purely for me, then yeah, I would prefer that to be in a very intimate, small, like because it allows me to get it done and like without hassle and all that.
Yeah, I really prefer the big launches. Like I really like attending small launches. Like I don't tend to fly at small launches. I'll volunteer, I'll LCO, I'll RSO, I'll kind of volunteer at a bunch of small launches. But like if I'm picking where to fly a rocket, like yeah, I'm with the Saturday during the big launch kind of, naturally that's where the big projects, that's where everyone wants to see it happen, right? If Sasquatch wouldn't have the personality that it has as a project if it flew, at my local field in front of 20 people.
That's true. All right, Postart.
Would you rather your rocket come down only on the drogue and it breaks at least one fin, if not more, or pop the main at apogee and you have to walk like a few miles to go get it?
Man, at Apogee.
I don't know.
If I have the
yeah,
recovery room, I mean,
Yeah, I'm kind of
Yeah.
in my exercising on the elliptical era, so I'm taking the walk.
I like the hide
Earns
and
me
go
the
seek.
pizza.
Yeah, I like the hide and seek of the main at apogee versus the work
Yeah.
versus the work I have to do to put the fin back together.
Yep.
now
Yeah,
if I'm
I'll
at
take the walk.
Bong, then I'll take the broken fin.
You don't want to land really close. You want to land far enough away that you avoid all the trees at Bond.
Yeah, you're just like back where our hotel was. You're in the Best Buy parking lot. That's where I want to be.
Well, my rocket landed really far away, and someone else picked it up. So,
Dude, we don't have. Yeah, Wilson was the one with the rough recovery story at LDRS. My God, Wilson Allness, shout out. He looked like he had gone for a 50-mile run, like after he picked
he
his
went
rocket up.
through it.
It was like 10-foot plants of some variety. I don't know if it was corn or
Like
what, but yeah.
thorns or
Yeah.
something. I don't know what he did.
The man was drenched in sweat, and he was just done after that day.
we were just getting ready to go like look for him because he had been
Yeah.
gone so long.
All right, Matt,
All
give
right,
us your.
here's my big one. Would you rather a friend not pack the parachute correctly and your rocket come in ballistic, or you not using fresh 9-volt batteries and losing your friend's 7680 case?
Knowing the
What?
stories behind both, I'm taking the ballistic rocket.
Your rocket didn't come in ballistic. First of
It
all,
came in ballistic. The Magnum.
not from the parachute. The parachute packing one was a broken fin. I
Yeah,
was
but it
not
still came
involved
in-
with the ballistic recovery.
I don't. Yeah, I was thinking the park fly.
Yeah.
Are you the
How
person
did
with
that
the
not come in
ballistic
ballistic?
rocket or the person who packed the parachute for the person with the ballistic rocket?
You were the person with the ballistic.
Somebody
rocket.
else packed my parachute for me and I came in ballistic.
Yeah, somebody else packed my parachute.
Taylor.
and
Yikes. Yikes.
Jesse packed it.
That doesn't sound good. That doesn't sound good. I might take the
I'm
9
also
volt
the one whose case is getting lost.
Yeah, that's
and never
true.
returned
Yeah.
apparently.
Oh,
Well,
Yeah,
continues.
I think maybe I'll just lose the case and then just
Yeah,
not
it seems
return
like you
Yeah,
don't have to pay for it or
Yeah.
anything. So
Right.
I think I'll-
Would you rather lose your friend's 3840 case with no repercussions or replacement, or have a broken fin?
Would you rather have your
all right.
Yeah, yeah.
I know this is crazy, but we've already been going 45 minutes, and we have about 55 of allotted time. We can go over a little bit, but we got to speed run this. This is going by
Dang.
crazy fast. But so we're gonna kick it to the Patreon questions, and then Bryce, I know, has a few more.
They're
but
on the Patreon.
Jack Pullman.
Yep, go ahead.
Oh, that's right. Yeah, I see them now. I didn't realize that's what was going on. The AI ones were on there. Jack Pullman says, would you rather fly a big, fat, and heavy rocket or a high-performance space shot? I'm taking the big, heavy rocket.
Yeah, me too.
I'm taking the space shot.
I'm going space shot.
I'm just not a space guy.
Oh God, Jack, you have to make me pick. He knows. He wrote this question for me.
The customer.
I guess I'm going with the big, fat, heavy rocket. I guess I could love doing that. Both is the right answer.
Guess you could. You
Yeah.
definitely don't, but
You'll learn. UPS Rocket Man says, would you rather fly 10 rockets to 1,000 feet or one rocket to 10,000 feet?
Easy. 10 rockets to 1,000 feet, man. That's the best way to
Really?
do it. Yeah.
Yeah. I can see your. That's a tough one for me.
I guess
How high did your level
size.
3 go?
825.
I guess size isn't
yeah.
specified, so that could be big.
Hell yeah.
rockets
That's true.
on-
But yeah, 1,000 feet is a 24-inch diameter rocket on an end.
That's a good point.
I would still choose 10,000 because I
Yeah,
like, as
at the
much as I
same
like
time.
watching that level of low flight, I'm not interested. It's a little bit too low. If it were like 2,500
Braden,
or
you
something,
saw Tom
Yeah.
Cohen's flights at LDRS. They're legendary. Nobody.
And it's sick, dude. Win doesn't matter.
Can
Waver
you name
doesn't
any
matter.
rocket that flew 10,000 feet? No, of course not, because they had clouds and didn't get to fly 10,000 feet. But
But the M4770 that went 500 feet, the echo was
so
crazy.
epic, so epic.
I think
Now,
I'd take the
if the
one
question
rocket.
was 100,000 feet as the high altitude,
Wow.
I think I could
Yeah.
probably be swayed. But 10,000 feet's not interesting to me. It's like in the middle of like, rockets. It goes high enough that you lose sight of it, but not high enough and fast enough that it like, holy cow, like that went really high.
Yeah. It used to
I
be.
just think it opens up for a lot of different flights as opposed to like the 1,000-foot flight's going to be very same Zeta, I think.
Only if you let it be.
And
I
10,000
guess.
feet's not going to be same Zeta. Like it's the same thing. It's just at
Well, I'm
altitude.
just thinking I could fly a 12-inch rocket to 10,000
Uh-huh.
feet, or I could fly a 1.5-inch rocket to 10,000 feet. Like
I
those are
can
gonna be
fly a
different.
12-inch rocket to 1,000 feet, and I can fly an 1.5-inch rocket to 1,000 feet. I don't understand the point you're making.
He just wants bigger motors.
Yeah, that's where I'm at
Yeah,
too.
Bigger rockets
I just want it
to lower altitudes.
I want more of a flight, I guess.
Yeah, I'm with you.
Yeah, 10,000 feet used to be like so enamoring. Bryce and I, even when we were like 15, like had a race to a mile contest. The difference was that Bryce had rockets and motors to fly. UPS Rocket Man continues, would you rather fly a cluster of 5 G64s or a single G or J275? I'm taking the G64s. Let's
Yeah,
wild
me
out on
too.
the
No,
cluster.
man, I'm done with clusters for a bit. That's
Yeah?
risky. That's risky territory. I mean, I say that I literally have a like 7-motor cluster that's going next month, but like air
But yeah,
starting
Porthos 2 on all EX
air
motors.
starting 2 different groups of 3 outboard motors. Like, yeah, it's gonna be fun. But no, I'll take that J275 any day. That's a good motor. I like it.
All right. Matt and Taylor, thoughts on that one?
I mean, if I'm not paying for it, I would choose the G64s because that sounds fun.
That's
But
a
I
good
don't
point.
really want to. That's an expensive like J Impulse or whatever that would equal. But yeah, I'd probably lock Ultimate.
What's more
on
expensive?
G64s.
Surely those are the same price.
Dude, I think the G's are going to take it. Those things are like $30 a
Yeah.
piece now.
Yeah, the G's are more expensive. Oh my god.
Yeah.
I don't
Matt?
know. I guess it could be close at this point.
What was the question? I spaced out.
5 G64s or one J275.
I think that the G's would be fun. I think a cluster would be cool.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
I do love a J275 though.
I gotta verify the price real quick.
it
it is
definitely the G's by about $30. So G's are
that's
they're
crazy.
$26 a pop retail. The J is $110 retail. So 5 times 26 is,
And that would only be
yeah.
that would only be an I impulse.
This is gonna be butchered all unbelievably bad, but Shrins Dwevetti says, "Good Lord, I'm so sorry. I hate mispronouncing names so much, but that's a tough one for me. Would you rather build a 2-stage rocket like Kip Dalgurdis and send it to space, or would you rather build one with a big single rocket and go to space?" I'm single stage, huge motor.
Yeah.
So
1000%.
Yeah.
Dude, I respect the crap out of what Kip has done.
Yeah.
But like a 12-inch like T motor is so sick.
It's going to be epic, man.
Yeah.
It's going to be epic.
Taylor and I got to stand 250 feet away from a 10-inch S motor that went to space, and it was like an earthquake. It was like it was like a seeing God moment. That thing was so gnarly. Matt, what are you doing? 2-stage or a big single motor?
I mean, you guys are kind of convincing me on the big single motor. I think that would be pretty gnarly. Yeah.
If I'm the one doing it, I would do a 2-stage because I don't. Just because I don't know.
Assume you
like more
have
attainable
no
to me.
Yeah, it's going to be more successful with the 2-stage versus the.
You
That's
do
just a
have to
big
give
rocket.
Yeah.
But once
Give Kip
again,
the credit.
I'm on the record saying I don't do space stuff, so like
Yeah.
I'm not going to do it.
Or
But
GPS.
the
If I
logistics of the logistics of a Kip-sized rocket is very attractive, but the earth-shattering noise and rumble of
yeah,
a
I mean,
giant solid motor.
I'm here for it
is
on
phenomenal.
the big rocket for sure.
Bob Green says, "Would you rather have Rocket Vlogs stay relatively small but fun, or see Rocket Vlogs get big but less fun due to size?" I feel like this one's a little specific. But I don't know. 150,000 subscribers is big to me. Like that plaque behind me is like 21-year-old me's daydream. I have to report that they don't include happiness in the box with your play button, but like I thought for many years was the case. But it is super cool to me. And I mean, as big as it can get, I don't know that it's going to stop being fun. There's not going to like suddenly become a wall of like,
No, they don't
some
take
sort
away
of,
the
like-
fun away once you get the next tier.
no,
Oh.
I mean it's actually really interesting not to dive too far into this, but I do every once in a while have like, oh man, I really got to do this, and then I'm just like, oh wait, no, I don't. Like all these people know what's going on. We're just having a good time.
I think it makes it possible to where you could end up falling into making it not fun, right? I mean that becomes easier as it becomes a bigger thing, but it doesn't mean that it has to be like that.
It could start feeling like a job. That's what happened with the car channel. So somehow I remedied that by making it my job. But I don't see that. You don't accidentally stumble into Bryce's career path. There's a lot more groundwork that goes into that one. So I don't foresee it becoming an issue. Jonathan Gabry says, would you rather fly motors from 10 years ago or the ones from now? That's actually a great question.
I mean, there aren't
2014.
that many motors, to be totally honest. I don't feel like there are that many awesome motors made in the last 10 years that would make me not want to just...
Yeah, most of them are motors that I feel like just came out, but it actually came out 10 years ago,
Yeah.
so I would go with that.
Yeah.
Bryce, you remember that conversation at LDRS at Lucerne with the M1780s? When I was like, remember these used to Kato a ton when they first came out after Daniels? And you're like, that motor's like 2 years old. I was like, my man, that is like 10 years old. That is way longer ago than you think.
Oh, man.
All right. Let's see. Let's scroll up a little bit and get some would you rathers out of the chat. Let's see. Would you rather fly a motor with no spacer O-rings or no grain bonding? No spacer O-rings. You know how many times I've done that? They used to not even be included.
No spacer O-rings are necessary if you grain bond them.
That is a great point too. Actually,
True.
yeah, I've actually always been really curious about that. When they're like, you have a motor that they're like grain bonding. Here's the instructions. Why are the O-rings even there? Are they? They're not doing anything at that point. It's glued to
I
the
think
liner.
maybe so people don't get too sloppy with the glue too.
When you glue them, right, you still want them to be spaced apart from one another. Like that's they're doing their job. Even if you're gluing them together, they're just making sure you're not gluing them face to face, that you're gluing them with a little bit of separation between the grain faces. So they definitely, it was kind of facetious. They definitely do have a purpose in the gluing process, but it's not important to me.
I actually got a motor that was missing one, and I just built it with one missing between two grains, and we let it rip.
Yeah,
it was a dark matter motor though, so the stakes weren't real high. But
do you think there's like a group of people that think that the spacer O-rings are there so that Aerotech can trim more propellant from the grains? And
I'm sure.
and put less propellant
I bet.
in?
I mean,
Probably.
that is
It's
true.
a conspiracy.
I mean, that's not why they did that, but it did take away a little bit of propellant.
Did it?
Did it? Did the grain length change?
Yeah,
I don't think it did.
changed. It's in the revision notes because
Huh.
everything's online.
Bryce just found out Taylor's one of those people.
Excellent. Excellent.
I mean,
Thanks,
I don't
Obama.
care.
Now my
I just noticed that
M1297
it
is a
was in the
quarter inch
revision.
shorter.
It's still, don't worry, your M1297 is still an L.
Rocket Chick says, would you rather never fly with trackers of any kind again, or would you rather never fly with altimeters again?
Wait, how do you fly? Oh, okay, motor eject, I guess.
Motor deploy.
Ooh,
Dude, I'm
that's a
taking the
hard
motor
one.
eject M1939 with a tracker.
Yeah.
Because if without a tracker, I'm not going over like 5,000.
Yeah.
You can't take my binoculars away, right? I can.
That's a good
Can
point.
I still track it in other ways?
Ooh, you used the word. That's illegal now. You said track.
Can I find out
You
the
can track it.
location?
You just can't use a tracker.
It said no tracking of any kind. Oh, trackers of any kind. Gray area. You found.
Yeah, I would go without a tracker because I once lived that life.
Yeah, I guess. Yeah, I think you could do so much more.
You can just go to bigger rockets. You can see a bigger rocket at a higher altitude.
Yeah, bigger rockets are always
like a
the
10.5
solution.
inch or 7.5 inch Honest John. You definitely won't almost lose that for an hour and a half.
24-inch.
Similarly, Eric Beavers. Oh my god, isn't that bigger than full
It's
scale?
full scale.
Is it? They're 24.
Yeah, I think so.
Oh my god, that's crazy. Eric Beavers asks, would you rather fly with no tracking or be limited to K impulse? I think I'm gonna. I don't know.
I'm gonna go no tracking.
Yeah, that's a tough one because like you can fly pretty high with a K, but like
That really throws a
But then
wrinkle
you're not
into
gonna wanna fly
space shot
40,000.
plans.
I don't know, but I like Kate.
yeah, that's true. Makes it a little hard. You can.
I
I guess
live
if you're
either
not
way.
limited to K impulse, you could do the old like 15 pounds of chalk powder and just cross your fingers.
Can I fly a bunch of K motors, or
I might go with the K motor thing because K motors are fun.
yeah? If there's a point to get
Yep,
stuck
it
at,
says-
K's would be good.
If it were J's, I would say no, but I don't know. Like
He did say K
fly a lot of K
impulse
motors.
though.
Yeah,
Like total
okay.
impulse. So no clusters.
Maybe he meant maybe
Yeah,
they
I
meant
like
each
big
motor.
stuff.
I could still
K
fly like
impulse
75
motors.
2 grains and stuff. I mean, that's a fun time.
The K1275 in the 3-inch Punisher, any 2560 or 2800 load in the 3-inch Punisher is just a good time.
Would you rather have
3-inch
unlimited funds for rockets or unlimited time for rockets?
Unlimited time.
I'm
Assuming
going funds. I feel like I could save so much
Yeah.
time by just funding other people to make cool things for me. I don't know. Maybe that's just
It's weird that I'm like on the opposite end of that desire because I am like one of the most impatient people in the world. But I'm like, if I had unlimited time, assuming like my current income, or I guess not restricting the funds, you know, Rocket Vlogs can get as big as it wants. Let's say one day I'm Joe Barnard size and I have X amount of money every month, but I have unlimited time. I think it would really benefit my mental health and really expand my patience if I could just not have to worry about doing other things. I could sit there and really learn how to perfect X winding.
shoot. You're making me think I should go the other way.
I could build a filament winder. Like, I got all the time in the world. I can do
But you don't
whatever
have
I
the
want.
money to do it.
I can learn it.
Yeah, I'm going funds.
I mean,
Yeah,
I
I
live in
could
the
go
Mojave
far.
Desert. My rent's cheaper than Boise, Idaho. If I
Don't
without any
talk to
further-
me about rent. I don't want to hear about it. I don't want to hear about it.
I think I'd be okay on like the filament winder, and I don't know that like really I'm at a point with Rocket stuff that my budget needs a massive expansion to do things that I really enjoy. But what I really
You'd
need
make
is
it
the
easier.
time. Yeah, it would make it easier. But I've got all the time in the world. I can wait. I can wait till I can buy an O motor.
Well, I can wait to build my Nike Hercules.
Yeah, you sure can.
Unfortunately,
Yeah, but you only have like
For
60
example,
more years alive.
Would you rather fly? Oh, did I miss that one already? No, sorry, there was one in here. Okay, would you rather fly Cicerone or Aerotech forever?
LOL.
Aerotech.
If it were 10 years ago, people's answers would be different.
yeah.
Dude, honestly, if I could have 10 years ago CTI reliability, I might go with CTI. If it was like everything was on the table, I can get N5800s and N1560s left, right, and center, I would probably pick CTI. But that's just not the way it is anymore. Dude, I just bought a 6XL case, and it looks like the UPS driver drop kicked it out the back of the truck before I got it. And the vendor I got it from
Probably
was like,
did.
that's just what happens with the production process. I was like, that's crazy. I've seen a lot of them that do not look like somebody hit them with a baseball bat 30 times, but okay.
So another question in chat here is: would you rather fly a full scale Honest John or a full scale Beaumark?
Beaumark.
The Beaumark. That'd be sick.
Yeah.
No, that's one of my, not necessarily full, but I want to have a big dumb Beaumark.
How big? How big
Because
is
it's
a
so
Beaumark?
stupid.
Like,
I think they're 16 or 18.
I think there's.
I think
around 16.
I think it's 18.
Right.
that's
18.
it's pretty epic.
Dude, the wingspan.
35-inch diameter. Oh my god!
What?
What?
Jeez.
Wow, that's a big
What's
thing.
So if I had unlimited money, that would be on the table.
Let's do it.
We're gonna need
Oh,
a crane.
man.
Upscale, but we'll make it 36 because that's what Sonotube comes in.
there you go. The upscale, full
Who's
scale.
on board for the 36-inch
I'll do
Beaumark?
motors. I'll do the motors.
We can do the 6-foot one. The double Beaumark can go with the double Arcus.
Oh my god, 6-foot diameter.
Are we air starting motors in the
I'm
pods?
kind of intrigued by a full scale Honest John. To be like completely honest, it wouldn't surprise me if like 5 years from now that was something that I got a group of people to help put together. It's a cool rocket.
But it's been done.
I think they're 16.
No, it's 20. I checked already. It's 24. It's
Is
30
it?
diameter at the bulge, but it's 24 body.
Okay, yep.
Oh.
27 feet tall. Wow, that's
Yeah, and
hectic.
yeah.
Would you rather fly a spool rocket and get to fly any motor, current, or discontinued, or only fly minimum diameter?
Minimum diameter.
I'm taking the
diameter.
spool, baby.
I'm going
Minimum
spool.
diameter.
25,000 spool.
I've got one. You want? Is that how we want to make it? Is that how we want to expend it?
Yeah. Oh my
Dude,
god.
that would be kind of legendary, though.
Oh.
Just the
That'd be
disregard.
sick.
I'll have to make
my
a
grandpa
replica.
once flew
I'll
a
have to make a
spool on an
replica.
I-800, and it was awesome. Just
Do you have
instantly
any
to
plans?
altitude.
for the O25,000?
Next year, balls boosted dart 200K. 0 to
Dang.
Mach 5
All right.
in 1 second.
Whoa.
Oh,
It's
my God.
the
Good
thrust to weight
God.
ratio on that motor is unheard of. It's unbelievable. It's a scary thing. But yeah, so this year's the N5800 boosted dart, and if that goes well, the dart goes to the O25,000. So
Dang. Taylor and I allegedly have a 2-stage project at balls. We'll see.
Allegedly.
Which year?
Yeah, well, I mean, this year. I already have the motor, and all I have to do is build the sustainer. How's the booster coming, Taylor?
Perfect. But now
All
I have
right.
money, so I can order the stuff.
He sold his house, so he's like, let's go, dude. Matthew Powell says, RV at the flight line or hotel room with a bar? I'm taking a hotel room every time, honestly.
Yeah.
I love
Kansas
campfires,
Star
hanging out with people.
Airfest.
Yeah, but man, the shower above all else. The bar is
Yep.
cool, but just like a nice proper shower and a soft bed is. Although some RVs have some pretty nice beds and showers, I have to say.
They don't have hot tubs though.
That is very true.
No,
I'm
no,
glad
they
you
don't.
explained what that question was, because I was like, rocket vlogs at the flight line or hotel room with a bar. Like, I don't understand. Sure.
Yeah, do you want to go drink at the bar or hang out with me, the coolest person?
Well, that's
ever?
easy. A bar has beer. I don't.
Jack Pullman says, would you rather fly clusters or a single bigger motor? We're really on a cluster kick, so I'm going to go with clusters.
I'm
right
burned
now.
on clusters right now, man. I can't help but just want a single bigger motor to just simplify things. I got stuck on a project that needed a cluster and couldn't have been done with a single motor. And it's just like, I don't know. Bigger motor, more better. Too much risk.
Matt, what are your thoughts here? He looks frozen. Oh, there he is.
Oh,
Am
You
I
clustering
back? Am I here?
Are you big motor in it?
I think cluster. I think I'm going to cluster it. Yeah.
All right, guys. I'm going to call
yeah.
it on this one. Eric Beavers has our final question. We got to do this again, though. This, time flew
Yeah.
by on this thing.
yeah.
Unlimited epoxy glue of your choice of brand or unlimited body tubes. Still got to buy fins and nose cones, though.
Body tubes. They're so inspiring.
Yeah, tubes.
Like I don't look at like an
airframes,
epoxy
yeah.
bottle and think, wow, that's going to be a cool rocket someday. But I look at body tubes.
Yeah.
I have a stack
That's a
of
good
body
point.
tubes. I just think to myself like, what kind of rocket could this thing be?
It's empowering to have a big pile of tubes.
Yeah.
Like
I also
Taylor and
I'm
I
very sensitive to like. It also sucks to go to West Marine and pick up like $200 of West Systems epoxy. Like, I definitely
it
don't
does.
like doing that either. Financially, I should pick the epoxy.
but it's just it's more of a it's not providing you with creative sustenance.
yeah.
That's so Taylor and I bought a box full of 7.5-inch phenolic tubes, and we were like
Haven't
5-year-olds at
used
a
any of
candy
them.
store.
My wife, if she was here, would tell me that I don't need any more creative sustenance. Like, you have too many projects already. I think we did at the beginning of the
But
year. You
I
guys
like
did a
it.
podcast episode where you talked about rocket resolutions for the year. I think it's pretty clear that I don't need any more inspiration for more projects.
Yeah, mine next year is going to be build some of the stuff that I have, but it is like I got all those 4-inch phenolic tubes, and they were sitting on a shelf, and I was like, dude, you know what sounds cool? A 4-inch Aerotech Mustang. Boom, 2 of those tubes are assigned. I was like, oh, I got to test the electronics for my N1000 flight. Boom, 2 more tubes. Accidentally, one's a coupler. That sucks. The tube fins look wrong, but it's fine. But it was just, I was like, man, it's so great. Like my childhood dream of just having all of this rocket sitting around ready for me to be inspired and just build something is here. And it's awesome when I'm just like, I'm going to build a rocket.
Yeah.
I have all this stuff. It's great.
Now you just need to finish and fly them all.
Listen.
Yeah.
Or fly a couple of them at least.
Yeah. How's your Nike Hercules, Taylor? All right, get out
We
of here
don't
with
talk
that.
about the Hercules. It's
How's
a
the
meme in
sumo
itself.
cluster flight coming?
NSL next year.
It's
Close
coming.
flight at
NSL
NSL.
next year. Sumo Fest.
We all heard it was NSL this year.
Yeah,
Dude,
we did.
oh, Sumo Fest.
Dude.
Yeah.
Bring it to NSL.
I'll get the 5.5
Yeah.
inch one
Let's
built.
do it.
I'll move that up in the
I'm
build
probably-
pile.
We'll see.
All
I mean,
right.
I'll bring it
We got
next
one
year if I
last
go,
one.
but-
I'm gonna pop it in here just because it's very applicable to Bryce. But we're gonna end it after this one. Elijah asked, would you rather go for handicap or complex records? I'm going complex.
Complex.
It's been told that I like the handicap records, so it's a fun optimization problem. Complex records are good. There's a few open ones, so please go do it. There's one open handicap record, so ignore that. But like, fill up the records categories, everybody. EX people, rally up, fly some EX and put them on the record boards, because the Tripoli records list needs some filling.
I think we could just demolish the complex N record with the Arcus.
Arcus? Yeah.
Yeah. Because is that the one I'm thinking of that was like pretty low, like unreasonably low for complex N? Oh, he's got it.
Whoa.
I think it's like 10,000 feet or something.
Okay, complex. So you're talking cluster. Cluster N is 10,896 feet on a cluster of 5 K550s and 2 K185s.
Oh my god.
What?
Dude. You imagine we could do a couple air
do
starts? Oh my
do it
god.
LDRS.
Yeah, I
next
don't
year.
think that one's Eric Gates.
Dude.
Eric's has the L cluster, I think, with a group of J's.
Where they had the 4Ks.
It would feel a little inappropriate of us to take a record from Eric Gates,
The
but
next generation. I think it's fitting. But yes, if you're looking at the clusters, there is no I, no J, no K, and no M. So if you fly a clustered rocket that has a total impulse in I, J, K, or M, fill out paperwork, you automatically win. So, but yeah, they aren't very optimized for sure.
well, on that note, get to building, everybody. Start building some rockets for handicap, research, and complex records. My name is Braden Carlson. You can find me right here on Rocket Vlogs on YouTube. You can find me on Instagram at BigB1011 and TikTok at Braden Carlson6. I'm trying to get to 10,000 followers. I'm going to cut Taylor off here and throw our guest Bryce in first.
And my name is Bryce Chanes, Tripoli Board of Director, and you can follow me on Instagram at Rockets and Randomness, or find me on Discord on the r/Rocketry Discord server as mod_Bryce.
My name is Taylor. You can find me on YouTube at the Rocket Channel.
My name is Shane, or Postart. You can find me on YouTube at Postart Propulsions, or on Instagram at Shane Harris Photo.
My name is Matthew, and you can find me right here.
And we are the Anti-Gravity Group, and I'm just now realizing that since this bonus episode is going to go up before the motor episode with Bryce, we are celebrating right now our 40th episode of the podcast. Run it back one more time. We are the Anti-Gravity Group. This is the Anti-Gravity Group podcast, and we will see you all next time.